Hello, this is Dr. Portas. Welcome you to another episode of our podcast series. Today I am joined by students in the Hillview AV Club, which is run by Ms. Allison Noon, who's also part of the technical crew. She also has one of the students helping her for this. One of the exciting things about this podcast is that I didn't prepare anything for it. The questions came from the students. The responses ideally should come from the students as well. And we have a production team that also involves our students, and we have a second group that's going to come in for the second half of this. And thank you for staying after school today to talk to me about your experiences here at Hillview and your much anticipated move up to the middle school. Today is April 30th, so you guys have a little less than 2 months to go as elementary school students. Pretty exciting time. So I'm going to give each of you a chance to say your name. Just say your first name. And then I have the 4 questions that you guys made up for me, and then I think you're going to ask me a question that you guys have for me to answer, and then we'll give the other group a chance to go. So just say your first name, and then we'll get into asking some questions.
Lucy, Courtney,
Matthew, Jackson.
Excellent. And they're outstanding at knowing their first names. So as I asked the questions, I was telling them, don't feel like they have to go in any specific order. Some of them have notes, which is great. Some of them don't have notes, which is also great. But feel free to expand on your answers and talk about things that really matter to you. So my first question to you, any of the 4 of you and all of the 4 of you, is what do you enjoy most about being in 5th grade?
I like being a role model for the younger students.
What does that mean? Because I definitely see it. I've known you for a long time. What does that mean to be a role model for younger students?
To show the little kids how to be responsible, behave, and just have fun.
Absolutely. And I like you throwing that last part of having fun too. But you can do that while doing the right thing. And as you're saying this, I'm doing the math in my head. You're twice as old as some of them. So when the year starts and a kindergartner's 5 years old and you're 10 years old, you're literally twice their age. And so you do have a lot more life experience and you can show them what to do. What else can you guys say about your favorite thing about being in 5th grade?
I really like all the fun activities that no other grades do in our school.
Yep, kind of special privileges. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't been principal here for about 5 years, so refresh my memory. What's one of the really cool activities that 5th graders get, or one of the cool, perks of being in 5th grade?
We do safety patrol.
Nice. All right, what is, for our viewing public, what is safety patrol? I know what it is, but let's let our general public know. So what goes into being part of safety patrol?
Well, we have to hold the doors.
Yep.
And then once the kids walk in, they wait outside of their classroom, and you watch the line to make sure everyone's being behaved.
Yep, which is not always easy to do. Sometimes the world's a little chaotic outside, and we're trying to keep everybody calm as they come in. Now, I always felt like the safety patrol played a really huge role in setting a tone. Do you guys know what that means, to set a tone for the younger students or set a tone for the day? This is one of those questions you can't get wrong. So, Lucy, what does that mean to set the tone for the day or set the tone for the
I don't really know how to explain it.
Do you smile when the kids come in?
A little bit.
Do you say hello to them?
Yes.
Do you treat them with respect?
Yes.
Okay. Do you seem like you're happy to be there?
Yes.
That's exactly what it takes to set the tone for the day. And that's what's really important is to go back to something that Courtney said about your role models. And it's a pretty awesome responsibility to put on somebody who's very young, but from what I gather, you guys really embrace that. And you do your best to set the tone and serve as role models. What else do you really enjoy about being 5th graders? Anything else to add to that list?
I like PV Park Day.
Yeah, what's so exciting about that?
You get the whole day at the PV Lake, and you just get to play with all your friends.
Yep.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's great. The food's really good. I know the parents do a great job grilling up food.
Yeah, my dad does too.
Yep. And then I know for a few years they got ice cream trucks. My last ever Choco Taco, they've stopped making them, which is devastating, was at a PV Park Day. All right, excellent. So now, apparently you really like being 5th graders. So what are you looking forward to doing in middle school, which is right over there? So what are you excited about for 6th grade and middle school in general?
I'm excited to switch classes between each period.
Ah, it's definitely a big change. Like you change classes what once to go to your special. What else? It's good answer.
I'm excited to see some of my friends from the other schools,
Yeah.
from like sports and other activities that aren't just like with kids from Hillview.
Yep. It's a great point. Yeah, you'll be like we say, swimming in a much larger pond. And anything else about the excitement of going to PV?
I heard that the lunch is very different from it is here.
It is. It is. It's quite good too, and they have their own kitchen there. And I don't know if it's a Slurpee machine, but apparently they used to have some type of machine that dispensed cold drinks that kids really like. I don't know if it's still there though. But the change in the classes is pretty exciting too. Now, I don't know my way around PV still. I get lost and I don't feel like the room numbers make any sense. So I'm hoping you guys figure out how to navigate that one. I know they'll do things to help you get accustomed to the building. I know in May they do something, and I think again in August. But exciting times. Any nervousness about your lockers?
No, I feel like I'm gonna forget the code.
You might.
I feel like I'm going to forget the code.
But when you get your lock, you just practice on it a lot, and you create what's called muscle memory, and you just get used to turning it a certain way and then back another. But that's a lot of people struggle with the lock, but if that's the worst thing that happens to you, you're having a pretty good day. I realize too I'm doing a marvelous job of probably creating mental blocks for you about the lock, so I apologize for that. Now this is a big one. Do you feel prepared to move up to middle school? And is there anything that makes you nervous?
No. For the more homework and like you don't really. Sometimes you might not know what you're doing because it's harder.
Good point. The work should get more challenging, and sixth grade is more demanding. You guys don't have to worry about this. Like the standards are a little bit tougher for sixth grade, but it's not like it's all ice cream and lollipops in fifth grade. You're working really hard. There are ice cream and lollipop events, but you're working hard, and your teachers are incredibly dedicated to making sure that that next step up is a reasonable step. It's not an impossible climb. Anything that you guys want to talk about the nervousness or excitement or just level of preparation for middle school?
I don't want to have a really bad teacher during like first period, and then like my whole day gets like ruined. So I'm just scared for like different teachers.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to see any bad teachers. You're going to have teachers that you might mesh with a little bit better, but I don't think you're going to see anybody bad. You know, the nice thing too is you see different people in your classes, and there's a whole different dynamic. And some classes you're going to feel greater energy, others maybe not as much. But I used to be a high school English teacher, and I found that every one of my classes, and I would have 5 different classes every day. Every group had their own personality, and some were more fun than others, and it worked out pretty well over the course of the day. So, yeah, one rough class period is not going to ruin the whole day. I can't make that promise, but from my experiences, you'll be fine. And then the last question I have for you, before you have a question for me, is what will you miss most about being a student at Hillview?
I'll miss the teachers a lot.
Why do you say that? That's a great answer, especially considering the fact that your current teacher is probably going to watch this. But what is it about the teachers here that you really like, Jackson?
So the teachers are like really smart and helpful, and all the teachers are kind. And I came in like second grade. I didn't even know some of the kindergarten, first grade teachers, but they're still all nice to me.
Awesome. And I'm glad to hear too that you had a good experience moving in, because it's not easy. I moved quite a bit when I was a kid. It's not easy making that transition. So if people are making it easier for you and being kind to you, that really makes a difference. So that's great. So we have the teachers.
It's fun school events that we have.
Yeah. And any fun school events really stand out? I would bet money that I know what you're going to say.
Bookwormy.
I would have made money on that, even though I don't bet. But what'd you like about bookwormy?
I like finishing the book and knowing what it was about,
Yeah.
and like doing those fun activities that Miss Monroe's planned for us.
Yeah. And I don't know where she comes up with all the ideas, but those bookwormies are a lot of fun. I really enjoyed those when I was a principal as well. And Matthew or Lucy, anything that you're going to miss?
I'm gonna miss 2 things that like only Hillview does, which is Quidditch and accelerated reading.
Yep. Yeah, and those are kind of connected as well. And I've gone to those Quidditch games, and I don't really understand what's going on. I just know it looks like a lot of fun. People get really into it.
I would miss the Quidditch games as well and the book parties.
Yeah, and I feel like Mrs. Monroe is at the center of a lot of that. And she did such a wonderful job with that 60th birthday celebration. And I will admit now that while I was standing out there, I was very nervous about some of those big clouds that were coming in behind us. But she made it for a beautiful event, and it was a lot of fun. All right, now Jackson, I understand you had a question for me?
Yeah. What were some of your favorite memories of being a principal at Hillview?
That's a great question. And I think my favorite memories all connect back to the people who were here. And that's really what made this such a special place. And I know every school you go to, there are people, and they all are proud of the place. But I felt like my experience here with families, with students, with the staff, that everybody kind of held themselves to a high level. Like, the students expected themselves to perform well and do well and be extra kind to people. My favorite part of the day was always at drop-off. I loved that part of the day. So every day from 8:20 to 8:30, I'd be out front by the curb, and I'd greet people as they're coming in. I talked before about setting the tone for the day. Hopefully, I was able to do that, and I would genuinely be excited for the day because you guys live it every day. You don't know what's going to happen over the course of a school day, but you know it's probably going to be really good. So I think that was some of my favorite things, was just the people who were here. And I loved all the events. The bookwormy nights were a lot of fun. And something that was cool for me, too, was that my boys were younger when I started working here. My son, Danny, who's a junior in college now, was in 5th grade. And there was one day he was off from school, and he was here for some event, and Mrs. Bellis brought him in, and he knew some of the 5th graders. He used to play travel basketball and baseball against them. So he got to be a student for part of a day. I realized in retrospect what kid wants to go to school when they have a day off, but he got to. And Mrs. Bellis was wonderful to him in this very room. But anyway, so I felt like people were very welcoming and very positive, and that really left a great impression. I was only here for 6 years, but there were 6 really good years. Much like you guys. 6 years, just like that. Excellent. Well, I thank Group 1 for being such a wonderful panel, and in a moment we'll welcome in Group 2. Oh, and we're back with Group 2 for this podcast about making the transition from 5th grade to 6th grade. Once again, we'll have the students introduce themselves. They'll say first names only, and then we're going to ask the same questions. And I told them, if you feel like you don't have anything to say, the luxury of these things is you don't have to say anything, especially when you're part of a group. And if you feel like there's stuff you want to talk about, we'll pursue that as well. So I'll give you a chance to do a quick introduction, and then we'll launch into that first question.
I'm Hailey. I'm Carly.
I'm Jackson. Lucas.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you all 4 of you for joining in, and thank you again to Group 1 for doing a great job getting us started. So my first question for you is, what do you enjoy most about being in 5th grade? And this is open to all of you. Don't feel like you have to raise your hand or anything.
We get to do clubs. We get to do AV Club, Traps, Creativity Club, and I love doing Pi Day.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, Pi Day is really cool. And that was March 14th. I can still remember that, too. 3.1.
We're getting to go to the Yogi Berra Museum, which was really cool.
Oh, yeah. That's a great field trip, too, right over there in Montclair.
Mm-hmm.
So, TREPS. Some of our viewing public may not know about TREPS. It was incredible. We had it in the Hillview gym this year to give us a little more space. I know we had North Boulevard last year. Fortunately, North Boulevard's a parking nightmare, so we were able to get it here. And we tried to get it at the high school, but unfortunately we couldn't get that to work with the facilities. But what was your general experience, and this is open to anybody, with TREPS?
It was really fun.
Why? What was so fun about it?
You got to see all your friends from other schools, and you got to see everyone's creations.
Yep. Yeah. And you guys did a great job marketing your products, and it seemed like you really enjoyed being around everybody too.
It was fun and great because we made a lot of money.
Making money's fun as well. I can definitely see where that would be an enjoyable part of the experience. And I had a couple people talk to me about how they spent about $100 on the event. But that speaks to the quality of your work and your ability to make eye contact with people and guilt them into buying things, which is a gift. It really is a gift. So, anything else that you guys really enjoy about being in 5th grade?
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
Recess, football recess.
Yes. Now, have you guys lost football at any point? Because I know when I was principal, it was pretty much an annual occurrence. Fifth graders would lose football for a while because people would get hurt.
We just
start fights.
lost jackpot.
We lost jackpot, and then we.
Yeah, jackpot's a good one to lose. That's better. Yeah, jackpot.
Sometimes you get a little physical.
Yeah, jackpot's like an invitation for concussions, so we try to avoid that one.
I like the basketball game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, the basketball game.
Yeah.
And volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh, the volleyball one.
Well,
We have
it
4
wasn't-
different sections.
Volleyball was kind of like not fair because the high schoolers were all like
They were spiking.
college and high school players were spiking, and we were told we weren't allowed to.
Exactly.
Listen, it's very difficult, and the high schoolers and college students, just so people don't think that they
Yeah,
were
they were just like
recruiting
that the whole
ringers,
time.
they're lunch aides here, so they are actually part of the staff, and they definitely brought a significant height advantage. I think we had one guy who was about 6'2".
Yeah, Colin came back from college. From last year.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete too. So, and I
Good
can't jump
soccer.
anymore, so I'm not much of a ringer. All right, anything else about what you really enjoy about being in fifth grade, or are we ready to move on to middle school? So, what are you looking forward to in middle school? It's a really nice
The
place.
cafeteria.
Why? What are you looking forward to in that cafeteria?
The sugar and slushies.
That's what I kind of figured. Yep. Yeah, the sugar content definitely has its appeal to younger people. I understand they have a pretty good supply of cookies.
Churros, everything you can really imagine.
We have churros there.
That's what my sister told me.
I gotta check this place out.
You can choose any type of food you want.
Yeah.
They have a really nice variety of foods. I know our friends at Pontonian take a lot of pride in giving you good options, many of which are healthy, which I realize doesn't have the best selling power among 11-year-old people, but it is important to eat healthy food. What else?
I'm really excited that I get to choose what I eat for that day. Like, if I thought, like, I wanted school lunch, but then I don't have to still eat it. I could, like, decide that morning.
Yep.
And I like how you can choose, like, there's a variety.
Yep.
Like, if I want salad that day or if I want pizza, you get to choose.
You give me a good idea. I should probably check out the salads because I really like salads a lot.
I love Caesar salads.
As do I. So if you see me down there during lunch block, you'll know that I'm checking out the salads because I try to avoid eating with students.
Why?
It gets a little loud. Sometimes
Our lunchroom's really loud.
Yes, but it's okay. I mean, you guys are you're loud but pleasant.
It's our break time.
Exactly, and you're excited to see each other. So that's pretty cool. So, all right. So what else are we looking forward to in middle school?
Lockers, so you don't have to like carry it around like a big bag.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it's not so good for your posture if you carry everything around. You end up hunched over and you look like a T-Rex with your arms like that.
I'm really excited to go in and decorate my locker.
That's
I'm gonna
a
have
fun
like a
one
big
too.
bowl of Jolly Ranchers. I'm gonna have it like chandelier. It's gonna be all decorated.
The chandelier's a touch ambitious, but I like your vision, and it is nice. Make the locker a personalized space.
Because my sister didn't get to do it because of COVID.
Ah, yes. Yeah, we don't talk about COVID anymore. That's exactly. We've moved on.
From the past.
Exactly. That's in the rear view mirror. We're driving, looking through the windshield. So, anything else you're really looking forward to in middle school? Like, I'm waiting for somebody to say increased academic rigor.
What does that mean?
Like less homework.
Less homework. Do you feel prepared to move up to middle school? And is there anything that makes you nervous?
I'm really scared because I don't really want to go into a new environment. Like, I'm comfortable here. I like all the teachers. I like how we learn. I like being the oldest.
It is pretty cool being the oldest.
And I really like all the things you can do.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say you should be scared. I mean, nervous. It's like if you play a sport before every game starts. You're probably a little nervous because you're excited and you're ready to go. But just think, if I told you you had to eat pizza every day for an entire year,
Oh, I'd be happy.
I don't like
you would
pizza.
until probably the middle of February when you'd be like, all right, 45 days in a row.
I don't like pizza.
It's like you never
Right.
want to eat pizza again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a little variety is good. So you'll see having the different classes, different teachers, different groups. I think you'll really enjoy the variety, and you'll miss being the oldest. But guess what? 8th grade comes rolling around.
Yeah.
You'll be the oldest again. Anything else about feeling prepared or things you might be nervous about?
I'm
Or
kind of nervous about like having a bigger schedule and with
Yep.
more classes, because like I don't know if I'm gonna be late or not, and I just don't know what to expect.
Yep, and that's the great unknown. And they're professionals over there, and they're familiar with getting sixth graders assimilated into the school. That first week or so, you might struggle a little bit, and I still get lost in that school. So maybe you'll get lost for several years. You won't. But they're used to that, and they give you a little leeway, especially early on, knowing that you might get hopelessly lost. You might not realize there's a second floor. I mean, only the kids at SJG know what it's like to have a second floor.
There's a second.
There's a second floor at the middle school. Yep. Yeah, it's only two buildings in the school district have that. Finally, what will you miss most about being a student at Hillview?
The bookwormies.
Yeah.
Really? Why is that, sir?
Because we had like the fun activities to do.
Yep. And you were going to say bookwormies as well?
Yeah.
That was you or Hailey was saying that you were a bookwormy. You're both bookworm ears.
Yeah. We also are going to probably miss recess.
There's that. Yep. Jackson, you're a fan. Yep. What else are you going to miss about Hillview?
Quidditch,
Quidditch? Yep.
because although I haven't made it on like every year, it's still fun to watch.
Yep.
Hailey's on Quidditch this year.
Have you started decorating your broom yet?
Oh, we haven't gotten them yet.
Oh, okay. Do you have like an idea of what you want your broom to look like?
Honestly, I might just use my one from last year because I'm on the same team. And it came out really good last year.
A lot of colors on it? Or like I've never decorated
What
a broom
team are
in
you
my
on?
life.
I'm on Gryffindor, I used red and gold washi tape to decorate the stick.
Oh, yours was really pretty last year.
And a few stickers on the end. So
Nice. So isn't there, and I don't know much about the Harry Potter houses, which I probably shouldn't admit, but isn't there one that's like the mean house in the book?
Slytherin.
Slytherin, yes.
What's the blue one?
Anything else
blue one.
about the experiences at Hillview that you're gonna miss? School's still gonna be here too.
Everything.
So it'll still be here. Hey, 60 years in,
Wow.
going strong.
I think what we could all do because it's 60 this year, we should all be alive when it's 100 years so we could all come back.
I agree, and I think you're gonna.
We'll be like 40 though. 50.
You'll be 51. Hey, 51 is still very young. You can do an amazing amount of things. Very generally athletic, and some people even keep their handsome good looks when they're 51.
Are you 51?
I am. How did you know? So there's one more question that was designed for me. I don't know if you guys want to ask the same question.
How long have you been working at Hillview?
That's a great question.
Or been like,
So I came here as a principal back in 2013, and I was the principal for 6 years and like a week. So when you guys were in first grade, that's when I got my new job now as superintendent. So you were my last kindergarten class, which is kind of meaningful. I'm pretty excited about that. And then this is my 5th year as superintendent. So I guess I've been connected to Hillview for 11 years.
oh, that's as old as me.
I just realized that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I've had wonderful experiences. If you had told me when I was a teacher that I would one day be an elementary school principal, I probably would have said, that's adorable.
Sure.
But I'm glad that the district took a chance on me and that I took the opportunity, and look where we are now. I'm still having a lot of fun with Hillview, and I'm not so sure I'm going to be around for the 100th year anniversary, but I'm glad I was here for the 60th, and I look forward to many, many more. So that's a great question. Well, I thank all of you for being a part of this podcast, as well as Group 1, which is now also working the cameras and being the technical support. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and we'll see you for the next podcast. Thank you very much.